this session, we're going to jump into vision and hopefully introduce you to not only a unique way to think about vision and hold vision, but also, in a way that we're going to make it very, very applicable in being able to create the outcomes and the results, inside the life that you really want to live. Like when you start truly designing your life, when you start truly intending your life into existence, we start living very differently. And it's amazing to me because 1 in 10,000 people have a vision, take action toward it, and actually fulfill it. And that's mind-blowing to me that so few people are creating in an intentional way the lives that they're living, because it can be so powerful. And when we don't intend the life we're going to live, if we're not clear on what we're going to create in our life, we end up creating something. And although the something isn't always bad, it's very seldom what we really want for ourselves, and it definitely isn't the reality that could have been. And so we're gonna break down vision. I'm gonna give you a template for how to think about vision, and we're really gonna focus in this session on the first of the 4 components of vision, which has to do with our being, with the state that we're inside of. And so if I give you a little map, I'm gonna give you a template here. And most people, even though they understand maybe I shouldn't do this, they create from the outside in. They think, man, if I create a relationship and I have a significant other in my life, I'm gonna know love and connection, and it's gonna be amazing. Or man, if I was a multimillionaire and I had all kinds of wealth and I produce a lot of money, that's gonna translate to a sense of freedom and safety, and I'm just gonna feel better than I've ever felt before. Or if I buy that new car or get the new house that I really love to have, I'm gonna know a sense of fulfillment and passion and inspiration for life that I've never known. And even though we often, it's not working, we often notice it's not working. Like we might make 50 grand a year and then we get a raise and we're making 100 grand a year, 150 grand a year. A lot of times our happiness fulfillment level doesn't go up as our income goes up. And a lot of times we end up in a relationship that we really wanted for ourselves, and we had a vision for, a romantic relationship and a marriage and a family. And then so often people end up in a relationship and they're bickering and they're fighting and they feel more lonely than they ever felt before. And they're filled with frustration and agitation and doubt about the relationship. Is this the right relationship for me? And it's like, wait a minute, why does that happen? Why is it that when we actually do intend to create the things that we're aspiring to, it tends to fall apart? And it's because essentially we can't create from the outside in. Changing the circumstance of life doesn't necessarily mean our happiness quotient goes up. It doesn't mean that we're going to be happier and more fulfilled and know more love and the things that we truly want for ourselves. I don't know a single human being, right? When I began to go to other countries and teach seminars and programs for large groups, I thought, oh my gosh, the first time I went to Japan to facilitate trainings, I thought, oh my gosh, is the things I'm going there to teach going to work? Because it's a completely different culture that I'm not really that familiar with. And I was a little bit intimidated by that. But then when I started facilitating the group, it worked. Everything that I was teaching worked just as well as it did throughout the United States. Or like when I went to Europe, it was the same thing. Because what I realized is that all human beings desire the same thing, right? We want to know love, and we want to know peace, and we want to know happiness, and we want to have joy in our life. There's nobody that doesn't want to know peace, love, and joy in their life. And when there's the absence of that, man, does it get tough, no matter how beautiful the exterior may be. And so for me, it's like, let's not create the outside first. Let's really start understanding and in a very practical way, create from the inside out. Like we've heard these concepts, but oftentimes it falls apart in the application of what it truly means to live from the inside out. And so if we break it down and we think about a pyramid, there's really 4 components to vision, right? And in the base here, we've got the first component of vision, which is essentially the being piece, right? Which is incorporated by this first 2 sections, right? And what we mean by being is when you wake up in the morning, you woke up to something. Everybody woke up to something upon waking up. Some people, they wake up to anxiety and overwhelm. Matter of fact, the majority of people today, upon waking, they get started in their day. The first 5 minutes of their day, they're looking at their cell phone, they're looking at email, they're texting, they're on the social platforms, and that takes your attention, your consciousness somewhere. But if we were to stop to pay attention, like what is my experience, what am I feeling, you would notice that it's like for a lot of people it's anxiety and it's overwhelm and it's fear and it's frustration and it's a sense of helplessness, and then we just kind of struggle and get through the day. Like today, so many people are just getting through the day, right? They're just managing, and that it just doesn't have to be that way, right? And so this first component of being is like when you close your eyes, who are you with yourself? Like what is the experience of yourself when you close your eyes? What are the prevalent emotions that you experience? What are the prevalent thoughts that you experience? Because if we combine those two components and we look at how they interact with each other, we look at the emotions that we feel, right? And we look at the thoughts, the thought constructs that we think, right? Thoughts, beliefs, perceptions. We combine those two realities, that creates our being. That creates the experience of our inner self, right? Our inner experience. And it's like, if we tune this up first, we make that our first priority, then we're going to take this through everything else we do in our life. And so many people, they try to create from the top of this pyramid here with the things and stuff in life, right? The stuff we own, the things we have in life. And then they think that if we acquire more money or we have relationships or whatever that is, it's going to translate to being happier and more fulfilled. And it just doesn't work that way. If you are happy and fulfilled and you have a ton of love in your life and you're inspired and you're waking up passionate every single day, then you're going to bring that to your home and you're going to bring that to your job and your career, and you're going to express yourself through those things. If you don't have access to those aspects of yourself, the experience of that within yourself right now, then there's no job going to give it to you. There's no finding a purpose that's going to provide you that sense of inner fulfillment, that sense of inner peace, that sense of inner passion and inspiration that every human being has the potential to know and deserves to know and have for themselves. And so when we engage with this sense of being, right, our state or our inner expression of ourself, then we come up here and we go, okay, well, what are some of the essentially the actions that we're taking, or the external experiences that we're having, right? And I always think of this experience piece as action, okay? And so that's all the stuff that we're doing. It's like, I love mountain biking and skiing. That's an experience that I have. I find that I know a whole lot more fulfillment through experiences by way of action than I have ever known buying something. Like you buy a new car and it's cool for a little bit, and then you're like, no, I just got to wash it and maintenance it, and it costs me money and it's breaking down. I got to fix it. I got to go to the dealership again, and it's just annoying, right? Or same thing when you buy a house. At first when you buy a new house, you're like, oh my God, I have a new house and my dreams have come true. And then you're like, oh my God, I got to clean it. And you know what? The furnace went out again, and I got to fix the air conditioning, and it's just a money pit. Like, oh my God. And you start resenting the house, right? It's like, why did I buy this thing in the first place? And then we keep doing that again and again. And so instead of focusing on the things and stuff, right, the stuff that you're going to have or own, it's like, let's really dial this in and go to passion and inspiration. And then what are the things we love to do? For me, it's mountain biking and skiing. I love being in nature. I love hiking. I love doing this. I love teaching. I love training people to better the quality of their life. I love the art of transformation. I love study. I love reading, right? I like to develop myself. I like to learn. I love to travel. I like to check out new places, right? I love to go on vacation and things of this nature. I love spending time with people, right? I like dinners, and I like to have meals together with other people. And so it's like, the third component of vision is how are we living, what are we doing? And then finally, this top piece of vision up here is the stuff that we own, right? The top part up here I think of it as like the things and the stuff, right? Right? Things and stuff. So that's money, new house, a new car. If I want a mountain bike, I need a mountain bike in order to mountain bike. If I want to ski, I need a pair of skis. So it's nothing wrong with having things and stuff, right? It's fine to make $1 million a year if that's what you want to do. The key is to understand that if we think that acquiring this is going to bring fulfillment down here, it doesn't work that way. We've got to learn, no matter what our external circumstance is tomorrow or today, We've got to learn and teach ourselves how to access peace, how to access love, how to access a sense of inspiration and passion upon waking up each morning, and then take that sense of being as ourself into our day. And then we're going to have more energy than we ever have known before to be able to take action toward acquiring the outcomes and the things and stuff that we'd love to experience in our life. And we're going to bring a different sense of self to the experiences that we're having. Because even if you do something that you say you love, like I love to mountain bike, but if I'm on my mountain bike and the emotion that's there is annoyance or frustration or a sense of dread or unworthiness, and I'm on my bike and my mind is fueling all those thoughts by way of thinking those types of things, and here are the things that are wrong with my life, and here are the things that are wrong with my day, and I'm the least fit on my bike, and oh my gosh, why is it not perfect weather today? The clouds are out. I wish the sun was out. It's like I can be as miserable in that experience as I could be anywhere else. I know people, like I've taken trips and I've had the opportunity to go to the Grand Caymans and stay at a Ritz-Carlton, a really nice hotel. And when I looked around at the courtyard, I saw people out of their mind angry, out of their mind annoyed, because they didn't know how to not bring their inner experience with them. So here they are in this beautiful place, right? They should be having this awesome experience with their family on the beach, hanging out with their kids. And so few people, when I looked around, were happy. Right? So many people had the frowns and they looked overwhelmed and frustrated and they were yelling at each other. And I thought to myself, the experience and the money doesn't bring the happiness. And so we've got to learn to access that happiness within ourselves, make a priority to training our sense of being first, and then how do we bring that sense of being into the things that we're going to do and that which we're going to acquire. That's what we're going to move toward. And so in this session, I really want you to start asking yourself each day, right? How do we start training this? How do we start, getting great at waking up and knowing inspiration as our day? Is you got to start with where are we now, right? Wake up and ask yourself the question, how do I feel? And just take a note of it. It's not good or bad, just take a note. Man, I feel anxiety. I feel shame. I feel guilt. I feel passion. I feel hopeful today. I feel a lot of faith, right? I feel love. I don't know where you are each day, but just start paying attention to where you are. And then once you notice where you are, just acknowledge, this is what I'm feeling in this moment. It's not because of the things happening in my life. I might have some challenges happening in my life, but even though that's happening, that's not why I feel this way, right? I feel this way because I practice it, I've trained it. It's what I woke up to for maybe years. Somewhere I learned it, it's become a habit, right? And so if we want to, we can change it. And then the third thing is just start to name how it is you aspire to feel, right? We got to start focusing on the thing we want to create if we want to create it. But if we don't know what to focus on, it's very hard to move toward it. And so first step is, man, I'm gonna train joy, or I want to know peace, or I want to know a sense of calm within myself. I want to start waking up. I want to know inspiration. Don't wait for your job to change, or for your financial circumstance to change, or for your relationship status to change, or for your health status to change in order to give yourself permission to know love, peace, joy, inspiration, etc. And so what I invite you to do is really play the game differently than most other people, and you're going to live a very different quality of life than most other people if you do this. And what I recommend is let's start training this sense of being down here, and you're going to do so by those three steps. Number one, hey, what am I feeling? Just check in each day and ask yourself how you are feeling. Do your best not to judge it. Just name it. Hey, today I feel a little anxious. Then step two, take a moment and just remind yourself, acknowledge, even if you don't buy into it right away, hey, this thing I'm feeling right now is not because of what's happening, right? There's a ton of people who are in really hard circumstances of life and who have, challenges far beyond what you and I know, and they still know happiness. They still know a sense of fulfillment. They still know gratitude, okay? Because that's what they've chosen to experience as who they are. It's who they've chosen to be, period. And then step three, start to get clear on who you choose to become. Even if you're not feeling it right now, even if you're not sure how to get there, don't worry. We'll support you in some follow-up training, some follow-up sessions on how to make all this stuff happen. But just start to ask yourself or get clear on, who am I going to be today? What is the experience that I'm committed to accessing as that foundation of my vision? Hey, I'm going to know joy. I'm going to train joy. Pick one quality. I'm going to pick joy. I'm going to train joy. I'm going to train inspiration. I'm gonna train peace. And do nothing more than just start going, hey, I'm gonna be peaceful today. Just start making it a statement. Start with it as an intention, as a declaration, as a statement, and then follow it up with, what are the ways I could access and bring peace to my day-to-day? What are the ways I could access and bring peace to my day-to-day? And just start asking that question. Start every day with that question, even if you're far from peace or joy or love right now. Let's start putting some energy toward it. Hey, what can I do to access love today? What can I do to access love and bring that to my day today? And start every day with that question, and then maybe ask it 1 or 2 times throughout your day. And just play with this training technique, and this will get you started on that first component of vision, which is, let's get clear on who we want to be, what's the inner expression of life that we want to be living inside of, and let's start doing that now. How do I feel? Oh, I feel X, that's okay. Step 2, I'm not feeling this because of the things happening today. Matter of fact, who am I going to commit to being today? Who do I want to be? Who do I want to evolve into? What's the energy I'm going to commit to experiencing and bringing to my day? Name it, and let's focus on it in this way, right? What is the energy? What's the emotion I'm going to bring to today? How can I bring it, right? Pick joy. Hey, what can I do to know joy today? What can I do to bring joy into my day today? Whatever the quality is, what can I do to access it? What can I do to bring it into my day? And just ask the question, and you'll see that if you do this consistently every day for a week, you're going to start noticing it's there a little bit, right? Do it for a month, you're going to notice it's more prevalent. And so let's start constructing vision in the truest way from the inside out. Hope this is helpful, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.